Hello and welcome back to the Big Bang. This is episode 17. I'm Big Stick, your flight director at Big Stick Astronomical Group. In the last episode, we were attempting to launch the service section of Moonbase Alpha. It was going to be an unmanned, remote-guided mission, but I could not, under any circumstances, get the module to work with maneuvering. I tried a number of experiments with other types of rockets and the remote guidance. Only rarely had some success, so I needed to change this into a manned mission just to get it off the ground. Unfortunately, that did not fit with my crew roster plan. I already had all of the Space 1999 crew on Moonbase Alpha that I wanted, except for Alan Carter. Alan Carter was going to fly a shuttle to the moon, and Nara is on the moon right now. She was going to take that shuttle back to Serenity Station on Kerbal and join the rest of the crew of Firefly in the Serenity Station. That meant I needed to come up with a crew member to fly this mission, so I decided to call on Badger from Firefly. He's going to take this to the moon, hopefully, if we make it, and then wait with Nara, and when Alan Carter comes with the shuttle, they'll both take the shuttle back to Serenity Station. One problem I was having with previous launches is these tanks coming apart at some point in the staging. I've since added some struts to keep that from happening, which I also realize makes the launches potentially more boring for you guys, because there's no big bangs, or at least fewer. There still is the chance that I will mess up the staging. I have been known to fire off some stages while they were still thrusting, which sends them forward and crashing into the payload, so hopefully I can avoid that. Just gonna check the map, see how we're doing. Not really expecting any problems this time around. Just waiting to achieve a circular orbit, get rid of these extra rockets, and then I'll skip you over to the moon landing. Obviously not a very maneuverable setup. But at least unlike the remote guidance unit, it can make it into space. And there's our circularization burn. for that to completely cut out. And we'll go ahead and get rid of those. Alright, so we've made it into orbit. At this point, I'm going to plan the long boring transfer orbit over to the moon, which I'll skip past so that you don't have to sit through all that planning. Back in a second. And here we are, approaching an encounter with the moon. I think I've mentioned in a previous episode that if you let B.A.N.G do a rendezvous for you with the moon, it ends up swinging you right into the surface of the moon, as it puts a maneuver node down here, expecting the moon to be in front of you. Well, it is in front of you, but you happen to pass through the moon on the way to the maneuver node and crash. So I've gotten in the habit of placing a node just before the encounter and burning retrograde to bring me into an orbit around the moon a little further out. I don't get as precise a orbit as you might otherwise with some automated system, but at least I'm not crashing into the moon at extreme velocities. Just trying to time warp up to it without missing it. I've been putting them a little too close anyway, so I'm starting this one just a little early. And let's see what this does when the sphere of influence changes. We should be right about now. Okay. So now I'm going to add a node here to circularize this orbit. Well, I would like to put one, but it's being finicky. Brings in somewhere around 100,000 kilometers. Doesn't really matter because we're going to be landing at the end of the first orbit anyway. Alright, that is good enough for me. Just make sure we get pointed in the right direction. I may end up having to deploy a solar panel to get some of this energy back. Alright. Moving up to the node. Starting the burn. Alright. So, as you can see, our next goal is to try to land in the vicinity of the base. The good news here is that we're doing this in daylight. That's always appreciated. That's not too bad. I've been coming in a little bit higher lately because I have needed more time to maneuver. And let's see if I can drop myself at least somewhat over. Alright. Get pointed at that node. While that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the extra rocket here, extra tank. Got rocket ready to fire. Yep, we've got power. Alright. Take a snapshot for the family back home. And let's see if we can make this happen. And 20 seconds. There, that'll work. Alright. Kill that node. Let's get us pointed retrograde. Take a look at where we are. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and warp a little bit here. I've been planning when to start this burn, usually by gut, and I don't know that I've gotten it exactly where I want it most of the time. Now that I'm looking at that charge again, I think we're going to go ahead and just briefly try to extend a few panels. See if I can build up that charge for maneuvering before we start this process. Let's see if I can risk burning with those still extended. They're staying on. And just about to cut the chart. Whoa, hey. The engines did not cut out when I wanted them to. Alright, let's check our situation. We're going to attempt to adjust this a little bit. Alright, so first of all, let's do some prep work here. I'm running out of space and time. Alright, first of all, let's slow things down. And figure out where we are. Now, yeah, that's not good. Alright. Alright, what if figure out which way I need to go here. Quickly. Alright. Go to the node. See if we can find our guys. There they are. Labels were turned off. Okay. At this point, just going to try to come in slowly, which naturally is screwing up my flight plan. That's okay. I'm going to try to kill some lateral velocity. Let's get some surface info going here so I can see my surface horizontal speed. Well, that was a touch too much. Alright, that's good. Alright, I'm gonna kill my velocity. Get rid of those stages. Get the landing rockets going here. Lower our legs. Alright. Start slowing down here. Something weird going on with the animation. Alright. Definitely something going on with my throttle control too. Not sure exactly what that is. It keeps popping up and down. Almost like some sort of somewhere. Can't get it to stay in one position. That's alright. Now, at this point, I'm not so worried about trying to get over where I want to be. pretty sure that those pieces there are debris. And this is the section we want to be over. Just maybe not so crazily over. Try to kill some velocity here. Still trying to wrest some control here, which isn't always so easy. And at this point, let's just worry about setting her down gently. Meters and oh, and a hop. Okay, but hey, we made it. Any landing that doesn't end in an explosion is great for me. Maybe not so great for you guys. And we're just going to, at this point, lift off a little bit. And see if we can oh no! Oh, very nice. Okay, well, see if we can come to a stop here. At this point, we're going to call this mission a fail. We're going to close this episode, and in the next episode, we will try that landing again. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.